I am elated. This is amazing. Go Blue, go Cade, go everyone. This game it exceeded my expectations. I did not think we were going to hang 38 points on Wisconsin. Nor did I think we would give up 17 necessarily, but that isn't the point. Isn't the point at all. Really, I look just at this game, and man, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. We score our first touchdown on a flea flicker pass. Absolutely golden. Amazing. It was flea flicker. We burned their secondary, I don't even know how many times. It was amazing. And then, Wisconsin, we kicked 2 field goals. It was 13-3. Graham Mertz actually showed some signs of competency and had, I think, what was a sub 30-second drive down the field. And it was 13-10 halftime. I'd say Wisconsin had the momentum. Then in the third quarter, we eventually got all the way down there. I believe, what was it? I think, J.J. McCarthy snuck it in on, I believe, what was fourth and goal. And that was just, to me, it was like, man, we converted 2 fourth downs on that drive, and we were up 20-10. And then, we just kept making them punt. We recovered a fumble, got a field goal. It's now at this point 23-10. We pick it off, turn it into 31-10, get another deep pass by J.J. McCarthy. It's 38-10. Alan Bowman shows why he is not a second string or first string quarterback and throws a pick, allowing Wisconsin to avoid only being held to 10 points. It's just, there was a lot of positives here. There was just a lot of positives. I think for now it makes up for the atrocious Rutgers performance. And I'm saying this as Ohio State is up 14-0 against Rutgers, and it's only early in the first half. But we had a lot of positive moments here. And I liked that we faced adversity at halftime. We were up 3, but the momentum was largely, I'd say, in Wisconsin's favor at the half. And we got sacks, we forced turnovers. I mean, the turnover by Bowman, I'd say, doesn't even count because it's your third string QB when you're up 38-10, just trying to get him some reps. And that's exactly what I would call it here, just to be honest with you. I'm pleased, and we should be pleased too. Now, there is something that could be slightly of a concern, but I'm going to now walk through the stats and then get to some of the takeaways. So Cade McNamara threw for 28 times, completed 17 of those passes for 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. J.J. McCarthy only passed once, and that was that 56-yard bomb to Dalen Baldwin for a touchdown. Graham Mertz threw for 15 times, completed 8 of those passes for 115 yards and a touchdown. Chase Wolf completed 3 out of 8 for 52 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Michigan outdid Wisconsin in the ground game as well. We rushed for 112 yards, 2.5 yards per carry, which isn't impressive, but Wisconsin's rush defense is amazing. We got a touchdown on the ground from J.J. McCarthy as well. Wisconsin only ran for 43 yards. And granted, a lot of those were sacks. Graham Mertz had negative 21 yards. Chase Wolf had negative 13 yards from sacks. Wisconsin only ran for about 1.3 yards per carry on average. Their long was 13, our long was 8. Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum. Haskins got the bulk of the carries with 19. Corum got 15. Corum ran for 3 yards a carry, which is impressive against this Wisconsin team. Roman Wilson was the guy. He had 6 receptions for 81 yards. Then goes to Dalen Baldwin and Cornelius Johnson. I'd say Wilson and Johnson were the guys. Cornelius Johnson, of course, had those 2 touchdown receptions. And Roman Wilson, just had the most receptions as well and was an impactful player, especially on what I think was a 3rd and long, him catching a deep ball from McNamara. I loved the deep pass. I said somewhat before this game that McNamara has deep ball accuracy, but he didn't really have any short to medium accuracy at all this game. He showed that he can be accurate, and if Michigan needs to throw more than run, we throw. And in the end, we actually rushed for more than we threw. And yeah, a part of that is, of course, the end of the game, the bulk of the carries were rushes, but I think there was a situation where we passed on all 3 downs. And I was like, what? There was actually competent play calling. Michigan also, we had 1 interception by Daxton Hill. Wisconsin muffed a punt. We forced a fumble from Chase Wolf. We capitalized. We also returned some punts for an average of 12.3 returning yards. It's important. We had good special teams. Our kicker went 3 for 3, had a long of 48 for a field goal. And for punting, we averaged 44.8 yards per punt. 3 were at the 20, and we didn't muff any kicks or anything like that. We were smart on special teams, good on defense. We only allowed, I believe, just around 210 yards. We allowed 210 yards from Wisconsin, forced 3 turnovers, and we dominated time of possession. We had 9 more minutes of time of possession than Wisconsin did. So this leads me to my takeaways from the stats we read. We faced adversity, we adapted, and showed we can pass. That's a huge positive, massive positive. We can pass when we need to against a solid defense, a defense that I'd say is one of the best in the Big Ten. Granted, their offense is not good, so it'll be interesting to see how we face against a great and talented offense. We haven't faced one of those yet. That's going to be one of the questions. The play calling was creative. The flea flicker for 1, and the amount we passed. And not only that, Cade McNamara had moments where he could have been sacked, but he juked out and dodged defenders, and he did what he could to escape the pocket when he needed to and do his job. You can't ask for more. So the play calling was creative. The team executed well. There were some dropped passes early, but by that second half, we didn't do what we did against Rutgers and turtled. We played competitive, smart football. And the rush defense and D-line are phenomenal. We owned that Wisconsin offense. Honestly. We're getting constantly in their backfield. Had moments where we tackled their running backs for loss. And it's absolutely amazing. We were getting in there, sacking Mertz, sacking Wolf. We even sacked Wolf, and just constant pressure, and that is a huge reason as to why we won this game. Now, one of the concerns is we do have to work on that passing defense, because Mertz went 8 for 10 at the end of that first half. 8 for 10, and got a touchdown. And seeing how bad Wisconsin's, Mertz has done this in spurts, seeing absolutely how bad Wisconsin just is, in a certain sense, on offense, it should somewhat be a concern. It absolutely should be a concern that we allowed Mertz to kind of ring us through the air. Now, that was just one drive. We adapted and all, but it's important to focus on the little things. Because down the road, focusing on Michigan, we play at Nebraska, at Michigan State, at Penn State, at Maryland, OSU. Penn State, Maryland, despite Taulia's bad performance, OSU, and MSU, I'd even say Nebraska, have better quarterbacks than Graham Mertz. They just do. We're facing teams with better quarterbacks, and not all of them will have as great defenses as Wisconsin. I don't think any of these teams, for now, have proved they have a good defense like Wisconsin, but we have mainly struggled not against teams with amazing defenses, but teams with amazing offenses. This defense I like a lot more than Don Brown's. We didn't like constant. We had moments where we were aggressive and blitzed, and we were very aggressive, but there were also moments where we were amazing in coverage. We actually forced turnovers, It was amazing. And to think about this, if I would have asked you at the beginning of the year that we would have scored more points against Wisconsin, that we would have dominated Wisconsin compared to Rutgers, or just in general, you'd have said that I'm crazy. And granted, we wouldn't have expected Wisconsin to be this bad, but Wisconsin was a favorite at home. And what I will say is, Mertz, if he stayed in that game, it wasn't injured, Mertz was not looking to turn over that ball. They were doing better protecting the ball. When Wolf came in, that's when everything collapsed. And I'm giving credit. Michigan's defense is, what forced Mertz out. Was Michigan playing solid that forced all this to happen. But Mertz, I think, for Wisconsin fans listening to this, Mertz did actually make some slight improvement in this game. But still, Michigan 5-0 for the first time since 2016, 2-0. Just looking at how Ohio State's doing against Rutgers right now, just kind of on that little ESPN scoreboard, I don't really know what to say. I think if it continues, Ohio State will be favored based on what I think will happen with Penn State and Indiana. They'll be the best team in the East, but Michigan, I cannot describe to you guys. I am so happy. And I have to admit, I was seething at halftime. I did not like how we just let Mertz go down the field. But we absolutely dominated. We dominated in that second half. 25 unanswered points. 25 until that final touchdown with 32 seconds to go. That drive where we converted 2 fourth downs, we converted, my goodness, we converted 3 out of 5. I think it might actually be 4 out of 5. Fourth downs is what we converted. I think ESPN might have gotten that stat wrong. It was 3 or 4 fourth downs. We were 7 of 19 on third downs, which isn't the greatest, but a lot of those were made up by the fourth downs. The aggressive play calling, the deep pass, all of it was amazing. We had more passing yards. We had more rushing yards. We had more yards per pass, more yards per rush. We actually had more penalties, only 3, but both teams were pretty disciplined when it came to penalties. Wisconsin had 2 fumbles, 1 on special teams, the other Michigan caused, and each team had 1 interception. Michigan had 34 minutes and 26 seconds of TOP. I am so pleased. I thought the final score was going to be like 23-13 or something like that, and I was very nervous before this game. But Michigan Nation, me and all of the other fans, we have an opportunity here. It's not like we've beaten a top 10 team, but we proved ourselves on the road. A lot of people, despite how bad Wisconsin looked, picked Wisconsin to win. We were an underdog, and we did something. And I am so happy, and that's all I'm going to say. We got a good win. I'm hoping that we meet Michigan State when they're undefeated. I'm hoping that Ohio State wins out, and we meet them, and they're 10-1, and we're 11-0. And I hope we beat them both. I hope we beat, an undefeated Michigan State team and an Ohio State that has rebounded, and hope that we go on and reach the playoff. Not saying that's possible. We'll need to prove ourselves more. But a win is a win, and we dominated that game. Notre Dame scored 41 points. 2 of them were pick sixes. We scored all 38 offensive points. Penn State only won 16-10. Granted, it was their first game, but we dominated this game and showed that we deserve, in my opinion, a top 15 ranking. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment your thoughts down below. What did you think about this win? I thought it was, you already know my thoughts. I thought it was an amazing win, but what do you think? And join this awesome community again. Like, subscribe. It's so simple to do. This community is absolutely amazing. I'm going to be doing a reaction to the Ohio State Rutgers game. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you around.